Peace. This is Professor Griff here at Sirius Mindz with Sirius Mindz. Attract Sirius Mindz. I read something earlier that I wrote, and I said, minds attract minds and attract minds like mine. No. Can me that Warriors Tapestry for me right there, please, sir? Yeah, I got to get it right because I read it. No, the Warriors Tapestry right there. The ugly guy, Professor Griff on the cover, right? Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it says minds that produce minds that produce minds that produce. All right, because we are souls in search of souls that are like minds, like mine. And this is the Warrior Tapestry I had put out some time ago. It's just a collection of DVDs. But anyway, that was interesting because I read that this morning. Anyway, like I was saying, in the divine name of the supreme being, I want to greet everyone with a civilized greeting, peace. Whatever creator, God, Lord, you serve. All right. Yeah, we don't have to call it by the same thing. We have 1,000 different languages on the continent. You can call that particular entity, that thing, the essence, whatever you want to call it. All right. It's the end results that count. It's the behavior coming from what you learn and what you connect with. Whatever cosmic force, whatever energy, whatever name you decide to give that particular energy, that is entirely up to you. Christians in Iraq, Iran, still call Christians, still call God Allah because that's the language. You follow me? So just whatever language you go by. So when I say it in the divine name of the supreme being, I take away the whole idea of it having to be male or female. Hopefully it's both because the duality in nature always balances itself out. All right. So when I say in the divine name of the supreme being, I want to greet you with a civilized greeting. All right. And I said last night on my show on World Star, I said that I overheard Whoopi Goldberg and Oprah when they greeted one another. I think somebody was recording them. They didn't know they was being recorded. When they greeted one another, they said, "Hey, bitch," and that's their greeting, I guess. I don't know how they get down, but I'm just saying. Yeah, so I'm coming to you in the divine name, not my name. All right, that name that we spoke through various different languages up to present day. All right, it can't come in my name. I can't say in the divine name of Griff. You understand what I'm saying? So, but I am because we are, therefore I am. Everything in nature is divine, and everything that's in nature that's divine is in us. All right, basically dealing with the law of correspondence. All right, so as above, so below, as within, so without. If you have this religion or philosophy that separates you from your God, then you got an issue. We're not going to talk about that right now. We're talking about something else. But anyway, this is Sirius Mindz for Sirius Mindz, seriously. And the YouTube channel is www.youtube.com/C/Sirius Mindz. Sirius is S-I-R-I-U-S. Mindz is M-I-N-D-Z. All right. Yeah, I know y'all checking out the gear. I'm sorry, ain't nobody get this to me. I paid $40 for this, y'all. So, is this the one I paid $40? No, it was the other one with the red in it. But the brother did give this one to me. So yeah, I owe that brother. I got to get his information and make sure I shout him out on here. Brother, I saw him in D.C. He kind of, what size you wear? I think he furnished the whole crew. It's only like 3 of us, so we can do something for him, some bartering or something. But anyway, yes, so we got to get some advertising out of the way. Of course, y'all know me and Soleil have been doing this this olive leaf extract, and it's a beautiful thing simply because a lot of people have their own testimonials, so to speak, and mine is not to blow it out of the universe, but to be honest and upfront and real. I've never in my life had such sound sleep. Energy, I go through the day, and by the time I actually shut it down, and she shuts me down for real, man. It's like sound sleep during the night. So it's myoliveleaf.biz, myoliveleaf.biz. It deals with high blood pressure, diabetes, of course, blood sugar, diabetic blood sugar, kidney disease, lupus, eczema, STDs, and more. So just that last line, some of y'all might need to get this for real. I don't know what y'all dealing with over there, but yeah, y'all might want to deal with it. Get it so we can handle some of these issues, or just your overall health. Ran into a sister, I forgot who it was and where it was. She just said she was having some internal kind of issues with digestion and that kind of thing. Listen, the soil is, most of it is contaminated from the pesticides and acid and all this kind of stuff, and the rain, the chemtrails and nanoparticles and all this kind of stuff, which I'm going to go over in my class on August 23rd, Thursday, August 23rd at 7 o'clock, dealing with the Kabbalion. We're going to talk about all of that. Just check out the flyer right above my head over here, and we'll talk about that. All right. But this olive leaf extract, I started taking bitters, I'd say about 10 years ago. And the bitters, I started getting older, digestive issues started to happen. I started taking bitters, and bitters help with the digestive process, along with flaxseed and some other stuff to help the digestive thing move along. Spacing out your meals, that may work also. There's another brother who is who's definitely out there on the scene, not out in front, kind of laid back, cool kind of brother from Africa. This brother has a fruit and vegetable stand on Campbellton Road. I run into a lot of people in the hood that will drive right by his place to go to Whole Food, another 10 miles out of the way, when the brother's right there in the hood on Campbellton Road. He has over 200 different natural herbs and vitamin supplements that deals with prostate, high blood pressure, energy, immune system, increased sexuality and sexual power, allergies, sinus, weight loss. I'm going to say that again 3 times. Weight loss. He deals with weight loss. Did I say that one? I'm going to say that again. He deals with weight loss. If you got a muffin top that's popping off, then you might need to go see him. All right. Diabetes. You could go get some detox herbs from him. Arthritis, anemia, menopause, hot flashes, cancer, blood purifiers. That's an interesting one. Blood purifiers, colon cancers and cleansers, colds, flu, constipation, hair, nails, skin, whatever. Go see the brother. Matter of fact, give him a call right now. 404-753-7753. 404-753-7753. We're actually getting this thing down pat. I'm actually looking at the screen, reading this off, looking at the people, and I can see who's coming on, who's clicking on, who's paying attention, who's not. But it's a beautiful thing. But he's at 2085 Campbellton Road, Southwest, in the ATL. That's the SWAT, Southwest Atlanta Territory. The life and relationship coach she's coaching with a passion and to support women on their journey from healthy to healthy self-esteem. She's the courageous coaching women's coach. She's coaching women from timid to tough. And her name is Miss Sophia Antone. You can hit her up, 786-955-3930. All right, catch her on the gram, as y'all call it, Periscope, at courageous_coach. You can catch her on Facebook at Sophia Antone. Of course, her email address, you can read it right here. Most of y'all would preferably call her if it's that urgent. All right, 786-955-3930. Of course, y'all know I'm going to be at the Natural Holistic Health and Beauty Expo, which is the LOX Conference, the 24th annual LOX Conference in Philadelphia, first weekend in October. I think that's the 6th, 7th, and 8th. Hit me up on my website, www.professorgriff.me. All the information will be there. I don't need that. All right. And of course, I got to shout out Khalid El Akeem with the Black History 101 Mobile Museum. And of course, y'all got to go check out all the information that I'm providing on World Star, Sirius Mindz, and what I'm doing with Brother Rich. So make sure you'll go to Sirius Mindz YouTube channel. All right. Go to my website if you want to donate. Go to the website, hit the donate button. All right. If it's $2, $3, $20, $1,000, some of y'all got write the $1 million check. I'll take that too. Hit the donate button and donate to the cause. All right. Listen, the Oculus film still needs to get done. All right, go to the website, click the donation for the Oculus, and let's make it happen. I want to thank everybody for supporting whatever you donated to the Oculus film that needs to get done. Today, I want to talk about media, MEDIA, multi-ethnic destruction in America. That's multi-ethnic destruction in America. All right, we need to talk about the media. All right, preferably about the whole idea of how they handled Alex Jones. Some people say, well, Alex Jones is a white cat. He's probably rich. He has InfoWars. Millions of people subscribe to InfoWars. That's another thing. If you're watching this on Sirius Mindz, hit the subscribe button, the like button, hit that little bell so you can get notifications. All right. But why Alex Jones? I'm saying Alex Jones. We're going to get to Minister Farrakhan, Willie D, and a few other people in a minute. But why Alex Jones? Because some people will look at Alex Jones as the big fish. And a lot of times, once they take down the big fish in the pond, they can handle the rest of them. All right? So, what actually happened with Alex Jones? Give me the cue and the battery go dead, bro. All right, cool. I'm saying booting Alex Jones from social media, they saying it wasn't wrong, it wasn't necessarily right, but they wanted to talk about all the reasons why. So we need to talk about the who, what, when, where, why, and how Infowars.com is taking off of social media. All right, they said it wasn't wrong, but it could be dangerous. Why are they asking the question that it could be dangerous? All right. They're saying it could be dangerous simply because when it comes to the Second Amendment of the United States Constitution, all right, it's an issue simply because if we have so-called the freedom of speech, Ice-T said you have the right to freedom of speech, but just watch what you say. Now, there's a very interesting thing that a gentleman put on Facebook about me. It's on my Facebook page. Facebook.com/ProfessorGriff.me. He says basically, regardless, in reference to the Leo Cohen thing that was on the Breakfast Club, he says regardless of what Professor Griff say, don't Professor Griff have the right to say it? That just makes sense to me. Regardless of what history I ran down, regardless of what I said, how long ago, whether it's present or for the future, whatever history it was, I have the right to say what I want to say. And some people fired back and says, well, if that's the case, the dude Leo Cohen on the Breakfast Club had the right to say about Professor Griff what he had to say. I never said he didn't have the right. I don't have the power to take him down off of Facebook. Question is, do we have the power to take me off of Facebook and YouTube? Yes. Because he's VP. No, he's actually running the entire music department on Facebook. Leo Cohen. Go look it up. On YouTube, rather. On YouTube, not Facebook, YouTube. So then when we start talking about racism and how it fundamentally works, hold on, let me find the book for you. Nope. And I said I was going to keep that book handy. Dr. Francis Cress Welsing's book. I'll locate it in a minute. But y'all already know the fundamental working definition of racism. Black people do not have the power to impose anything on white people. All right? Therefore, we're not in a position, nor do we have the power to become racist. All right? So let's understand that. If I could locate the book real quick, I can read you the working fundamental definition of racism, white supremacy. I should always have that book handy for situations just like this. I'll read it to you in a second. But it says private corporations booting Alex Jones off of social media for hate speech raises a question. Should Congress get involved? Is another question. And what is hate speech? And the last question is, where does it end? And I want to add my 2 cents. Where did it begin? The who, what, when, why, where, and how of Alex Jones being accused of hate speech. Now, Alex Jones is white. I don't know if y'all know that. So when you start talking about hate speech, who is it that a white person like Alex Jones could possibly be talking about in reference to them accusing him, them, we got to figure out who the them and the they are, accusing him of hate speech. All right? Now there's different layers. If I came on here and I start spewing things about white people's history, is that hate? I'm just throwing a question out there. Is it hate? If I start spewing things, racism is the ability to control the outcome for a group of people based on economic, social mantra. I'm not sure, Pierre Elliott. Put up the definition of racism, white supremacy by Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. All right, can we do that? Let's put up that definition and work from there. Because when you start talking about silencing certain groups, all right, as I said on World Star last night, you can say what you want to about homosexual people, so to speak, calling them out their name in derogatory terms. Do homosexual organizations and groups, LGBTQ, it's probably some other letters, but I don't know them. I don't have the handbook. Can they shut you down? Can they block you from making money? Can they prevent you from speaking at colleges and universities? Can they? Yeah, to a degree they can. All right. When we start talking about overall racism, white supremacy, and some people say, by you keep saying white supremacy, you keep giving them power. No, this is a system that they've set up. All right, of racism, all right, white supremacy, not black supremacy, Chinese supremacy, yellow, green supremacy, white supremacy. Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, in her book, we need to have her book handy. She says when they started circumnavigating the globe and they started running into people that look like me and you, this is when they collectively got together and set up a system to manipulate, dominate, and control all of the darker skinned people on the planet, because they discovered that the darker skinned people on the planet can genetically annihilate them. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. I got to change the batteries.
The revolution for true justice and freedom, awakening the third eye, transform into a butterfly. Life is but a dream and a game, take a chance. Life is like a song, we express it through the dance. Life's a soaring battle, got to fight for your rights. Life's a twisted journey, it goes topsy-turvy. Life's a mystery with plenty opportunity, and life's a wild party we attend through our puberty. Life is like a novel.
I think this is it. So when we start talking about racism, white supremacy, we have to understand the dynamic of what we're dealing with when we interact. All right, as Neely Fuller said in his book, and I don't have this book handy, we affectionately call it The Code. He says, if you do not understand racism, white supremacy, everything that you think you understand will only confuse you. All right. So when we interact now with other races of people, we have to keep in mind a working fundamental definition of racism, white supremacy, and it is as follows. As a black behavioral scientist and practicing general and child psychiatrist, my current functional definition of racism is white supremacy. It is as follows. The local and global power system structured and maintained by persons who classify themselves as white, whether consciously or subconsciously determined. This system consists of patterns of perception, logic, symbol formation, thought, speech, action, and emotional response as conducted simultaneously in all areas of people activity. Those areas of people activity are economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. For the ultimate purpose of the system is to prevent, the ultimate purpose of white genetic survival. The ultimate purpose of the system is to prevent white genetic annihilation on an earth, a planet in which the overwhelming majority of people are classified as non-white, black, brown, red, and yellow. They've been classified by white-skinned people. This is that race construct. They constructed a system. All right. So, yeah, we're going to have to take it way over that mark. Yeah. But they constructed a system, all right, that keeps everyone in check. All right. And then the system was passed on, and they injected this particular system in the 9 areas of people activity. And I want to add the 10th area, which is health. But they interjected it in the culture. So in the black household, the darker skinned one is the one that catch the hell. In the school, in the classroom, it's the dark skinned ones with the nappy hair that catch the most hell. All right? Even in families and so on. Even in culture. We'll talk about that in a second. The ultimate purpose of the system is to prevent white genetic annihilation on the planet Earth. All right? So when you start talking about the different systems and where these things are imposed upon darker skinned people, it's imposed on them globally. All right? And we can give examples of that, but she does a better job. But now I'm asking you to dive deeper and start looking at the symbol formation as she talks about in her book also. So if we can kind of take a look at that when it starts to talk in chapter 10 on page 131, ball games as symbols, the war for the balls. The war for the balls. We're going to talk about that in a second in chapter 10. But Alex Jones, what's the symbolic meaning of their taking him down off of social media? The question is, my question to you is, simultaneously, how do all of these different multinational corporations, when do they have the meeting and the discussion to take Alex Jones off of all of social media, and how do you do that? Silicon Valley, they get a phone call, they hit somebody, hit some Indian kind of dude with his finger on the button. They say, hey, Swami, do me a favor, man, push that button. We got to get Alex Jones off the internet. How do they do that? How do you shut his YouTube page down, along with his PayPal page down, along with Periscope, along with YouTube, along with Facebook, along with whatever? How do you do that simultaneously? And who's working behind the scenes in cahoots with who in order to make sure you can pull that off successfully? How do you do that? See, you got to understand something that's very dangerous. You know why? Because if I didn't have these physical books, if all my stuff was just online, like most of people's books are, PDFs and other stuff, one bleep in their computer, in their gigantic computer that they have somewhere, they can wipe you clean. The professor who? He has a show when? On what? Do you understand what I'm saying? We have to, even with these shows, we got to back up some kind of way. Do you understand? Oh, these will be gone forever. All right, so we have to understand this particular dynamic. Pierre Elliott, NSA, National Security Agency. Yeah, because I can honestly say probably if you make the connection between the National Security Agency and Google, you'll probably find the connection. All right? I'm not saying this for fact, but yeah, I've researched that. I can say it for fact. Skype, Google owns YouTube. YouTube can then give a call to Facebook, who also works with the National Security Agency. All right, and some of the other alphabet boys. Yeah, we can honestly say this is fact. We've done that research. All right, so let's understand something. Pierre Elliott, Freemasons is way down the totem pole, bro. No. So, Alex Jones. The question now is, why Alex Jones got kicked off of Facebook, YouTube, from, and maybe it could have been from Apple or Spotify's influence. His segments are downloaded into MP3s, and just the MP3s, which is another revenue stream, right? Can go up on YouTube. I mean, on Apple, iTunes. People can buy them, download them into it, right? And so it's different revenue streams. Spotify is another revenue stream. Pandora is another revenue stream. But the question is, how does all these people get contacted at the same time? Yeah, hey, what's up, man? Yeah, we shutting Alex Jones down at 3 o'clock. Make it happen. So, yeah. I'm trying to figure out how does that happen. See, these are the questions I want to put out there to you because to a degree I understand, but I want to try to get you to at least start thinking about these things to understand how they do these things simultaneously. InfoWars. Have you anyone ever watched any of Alex Jones's shows? It is extremely controversial to those that are not part of this community, so to speak. Those of us that seek out information outside of mainstream media. Those of us that are not tied to the alphabet boys. Let's name a few. MSNBC, CNN, HLN, Headline News, the BBC, and a few other. I'm going to name a few more in a minute. But if we're outside of getting our news from those sources, then you're part of this community. If you rather tune into shows like this, as opposed to go listening to the filtered news, which you already understand that they get their news from two news sources, Reuters and AP, which is the Associated Press. All right? Keep it up, Kevin Larkins. Yeah, you following me? All right, I'm going to get a t-shirt. You following me? But anyway, so we have to understand that particular dynamics. Have you ever watched Alex Jones' show? I mean, it's some controversial stuff. Controversy is not a bad word. Contra, I have a dictionary, I can get it, means to go against, to move in the opposite direction. Contra, to push against, to go against. All right, controversy, root word to version, right? Controversial, controversion. I just have a version of this particular story that's going against what you probably believe to be the God honest truth coming from your God, CNN. So I'm controversial. There's nothing wrong with that. There's books that I have on my bookshelf that talk about the same subject, but they have two opposing forces. That's controversial. That's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. There's honestly nothing wrong with that. I'd rather get a delicate balance, all right? The thesis, the antithesis, which is the antithesis, to bring about a synthesis. That's basic stuff you learn in high school, college, first year of college. You have the thesis, and then you have the thing that opposes the thesis, which is the antithesis, which you should kind of study both sides and come up with a synthesis, and then we can kind of present with your point of reference and all that kind of stuff. All right. On Monday, the internet was rocked by the bombshell news. Alex Jones, the Edward R. Murrow of the far right, damn, wow, had been booted from Facebook, YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. That leaves us a few other ones left, Twitter and a few other major ones that are left. What's the reason? He says potentially limiting his access to his massive following. What was his following? Well over into 100 million people. Yeah, I think I have 10,000 people following me on YouTube. So to get to 1 million, I have millions of hits on certain topics that I talk about. But he had millions of followers, subscribers. If you got, let's throw a number out there, 10 million. And 10 million give you $1 every month. Could you work with that? You can work with that a little bit? Okay. I can work with that a lot. If I have 10,000 subscribers that gave me $1 a month, I can work with that. Can we work towards that? Can we do that, brothers and sisters? Let me ask a few people. Ty Muhammad, can we do that? Richard Muhammad. Pierre, can we do that? Can y'all go to www.professorgriff.me, and every month on the 3rd, 3 is a good number, right? No, let's do the 7th. On the 7th, everybody just donate $1. I can work with that. Then we could do this news every day, right? Could we? Yeah, we could do it every day. Multi-camera angles, a switching board, some more lights, and some other things. On the 7th, if everybody just said, look, here's $1 and 10,000 of y'all do that, yeah, we can make this pop. We can get batteries and the other things that we need. But back to Alex Jones. In this welcome move by private corporations to refuse to provide a platform for toxic garbage or distributing step towards censorship of unpopular expression. They call what Alex Jones is spewing toxic garbage. I think not. It may be far left to you or far right. It's definitely not that mainstream news media garbage that you get. All right? Trust me. Here's a test. Turn on your TV, turn on the radio in the other room, and turn your phone, keep your cell phone on. Check out what's on the news, go to your phone, and then go to the radio. They're talking about the same exact thing. That is boring as hell. It's controlled media. All right? Controlled media. All right? Tariq Nasheed, peace, man. What's good, bro? How you feel? All right? Yeah, it'll happen to the Tariq Nasheeds of the world. Because if they get Alex Jones, they're coming after Tariq Nasheed next. They'll go to the Willie D's next, and then they'll end up coming after the Professor Griffs. And then they'll turn around and shut down a Farrakhan on Netflix. All right? Because the Tariq Nasheeds of the world, the Professor Griffs of the world are not outside. You see, we represent that small percentage of people that's giving you unfiltered news. Or it's coming through a filter that you either respect, or you're on here listening to, or you're taking cues from, or you're even putting it in that thesis, antithesis, synthesis kind of thing formula. All right? So you can go to Tariq Nasheed and listen and get that news for a couple of hours. Later on, Griff might come on, or I might come on a different day, or pop on and do this. Then you may get that. Then you may go to some other advised news, or you may go to some other brother Ben X or Sonetta or somebody, or you may go to one of them and get some more news and start tying these news stories together and and then formulate your own opinion. Then you may start to become a free thinking individual. This is what they're afraid of. All right. They want us to come at each other's throats. Griff against Tariq against Sonetta against this one, and not working in conjunction with one another. But guess what's happening? Just by the mere fact that we're on here being bold enough to give our own perspective on what the news is. All right? It's happening anyway. Because some of y'all call me and ask me, do you listen to so-and-so? Do you watch so-and-so's channel? I say, yeah, when I get time, but yeah, whatever. They said, oh, cool. Okay, cool. Because I listen to you. Then I'll go to Ben X's show one day. I'll go to Tariq's show another day. Then I might check out Sonetta's thing, and then so-and-so may go live. Red pill and blue pill may do something or whatever. That's good. Because now you're getting your information, all right, from a source, all right, that obviously you can take our information and formulate your own thoughts, ideas, opinions, perspective, point of reference. That's why we do it. All right. So if they came after Alex Jones, all right, and Willie D has been having issues, Professor Griff has been having issues, shut Minister Farrakhan down off of Netflix, came at Tariq Nasheed, and several times I've sat in Sonetta's house where they came after Sonetta. They actually used Google Earth to spy on Sonetta. All right. So if this is happening, should we start to sound the alarm that, now I know some people may say, well, they've been doing this, Griff. You're right, Kevin. We are waking up the sheeple. But what happens now when the sheeple are awake? Are the sheeple going to take the information that we're giving them and go do what we need to do? I've said a long time ago, we need our own independent stations. We should start with our own independent websites. The beautiful thing that World Star did last night on my show, we went from recording it, filming it, and it was actually live on Facebook, to recording it, to actually getting it up and out in 20 minutes. You understand what I'm saying? With the images over my shoulder, simultaneously at the same time. As I'm talking, they're putting them up. Now, are they going to come at the WorldStar, worldstar.com to come and get Professor Griff and shut Griff's show down on WorldStar Hit Radio? Probably so. These people don't play. You understand what I'm saying? There was a question asked, how can they do that to Minister Farrakhan? Talk about Netflix. I said, well, did you forget who Netflix is, rather? I'm like, who do you think these people are? You understand what I'm saying? Mind you, shut down Minister Farrakhan, but on the same day Minister Farrakhan with documentary is supposed to air, a musical journey. Orange is the new black. Did you see that? So orange is the new black now. You know the jumpsuits that they give you when you go to prison? The orange jumpsuit? They say orange is the new black. Who's pushing that agenda? All right? This football season with the NFL, you're supposed to get the first, I guess he calls himself first LGBTQ cheerleader, male cheerleader. No, seriously, I read it. So you're supposed to get the first gay cheerleader, male cheerleader on, yeah. So I'm saying that to say this. When you start talking about having the freedom to do this, there's somebody on high in Silicon Valley, all right, that's actually giving us permission, so to speak, through this virtual world that we've become so accustomed to live in, to let this be aired like this. So I'm speaking to you on Facebook, but I'm also talking to the people on YouTube. All right. And later on with the images that we put up, we can air this on YouTube. What happens in the time that we go into production, all right, to present it to the people. All right. So it says to state the obvious, there are no constitutional issues involved here. Already now, they want you to know they're not violating your constitutional rights. When the IRS comes and sends you that letter, and then they come to arrest you for not filing your taxes, all right? They can honestly stand on the grounds of not violating your constitutional rights. Why? Because the IRS is a private entity. The post office is a private company. The Federal Reserve is private. So they're not violating anything. These are private companies. Please, can y'all write that down? Because I don't want to sound super deep when we start talking about these legal terms and these legal entities. To state the obvious, there are no constitutional issues involved here in violating the constitutional right of Alex Jones. Now, are they violating Alex Jones, or are they shutting down a company called Infowars.com? All right. Since the First Amendment protects speech only from intervention by the government, listen to me, please. Do YouTube represent the government? No, private company. Does Spotify represent the government? No, they're a private company. Do Spotify and the rest of them? Nope, they don't represent the government. Do they work in conjunction with the government via the NSA? Probably so, but they're not the government. So his First Amendment and Second Amendment, First Amendment rights to protect his free speech is still intact. There's no intervention by the government at this point. Some, including Representative Steve King, Republican from Iowa, have argued that since today's big tech companies, utilities, when it comes to the utilities, when it comes to speech, meaning that if you have the freedom of speech, but you're using a private company to speak through, all right, then and only then can your rights be violated. This is what Stephen King is saying, not Professor Griff. They should be treated as public utilities when it comes to speech. An ironic stance that puts conservatives in a position of calling for the government to regulate Infowars and Alex Jones. How can now the government step in to regulate, since Alex Jones is talking about governmental issues and putting the government on the spot, so to speak, and bringing out issues concerning the government? Can the government now turn around and use these private companies to silence Alex Jones? Question, Professor Griff, can I ask a question? Yes. What happened in the case of Professor Griff? I spoke up and out about who manipulates and controls the music industry. Did they use the government to shut me down? Nope. They got cowards like Chuck D and other people to put the pressure on me, because the pressure came from Sony, Columbia at that time, to Def Jam, right to our managers and Bill Stephanie's and Hank Shockleys and Chuck D's, and end up shutting Professor Griff down. That's how that worked. if we had the testicular fortitude and the balls to stand up and say, no, that's not going to happen, then it's not going to happen. And then we can alert the public of what's going on. Black Dot talked about this in one of his broadcasts when he talked about the whole idea of divide and conquer. How long are we going to allow these people to continue to come in the family and divide us up? All right? We should be able to call one another and work that out behind closed doors. All right? Just divide and conquer. Peace. Dot was good. So when you start talking about this whole idea now of not sticking to an ultimate plan to go after the hearts and minds of our people by letting someone from the outside of the culture come in to separate us, that's a no-no. We'll talk about that at another time. Meanwhile, free speech champions such as attorney and blogger Ken White warned that any attempt to treat social media platforms as public platforms where First Amendment principles should govern will lead to government having to step involved and infringe on certain people's rights. Basically what he's saying is public platforms, all right, are not, or shouldn't be treated like social media platforms. Platforms meaning government platforms are not social media platforms. So who's actually shutting Alex Jones down? The government or social media platforms? Is Silicon Valley people shutting him down, or is it the government? Or did the Silicon Valley people get the call from the government saying, we got a problem with this Alex Jones guy? Let's roll our minds back. Hold on. Let's not stop just yet. Do you remember when the San Bernardino shooting happened and the information was in the iPhone and they called on the government called on Apple to go into the quote unquote terrorists' cell phones to get the information? What happened in that case? All right. Come on, talk to me. If all Tariq Nasheed did was give news and information and put the information out there, why did they move on him at his house? All right. Who's setting up these operations, these covert operations? Who's making this happen the way it's moving? All right. Listen, I know some hackers. Well, I knew some. I don't really know them right now. I can't put that out there like that. But I'm saying there's a way that they've configured this thing where if you Google Griff or you act like you Google GRI, my name will come up, or professor or whatever. The way my name moves up to the top of the search engine on Google. What's the other search engines, man?
Bing.
Huh?
YouTube.
Bing, Yahoo, whatever. There's a way that they can move your name up. And that's just real. I don't know who you got to pay or what you got to do, but there's a way they can make that happen. All right. Certain people that you tag in certain instances on YouTube and Facebook and other things. These algorithms now, all right, they manipulate and control them and tweak them the way they want to. They've incorporated facial recognition software. All right. Even with the brand new cameras that are out, with the cell phones, with the ATM machines, with the security system that they use at banks and at the airports. All right. Anybody that's in high level at TSA can tell you this. This is not hard to figure out. All right. They know when Professor Griff is walking through the airport. There's an incident that just happened that's in the news right now in Mexico. Revolutionary brother, his son was on the phone, and they always tapping the phone. Y'all know that. So we have to understand this particular dynamic. But let me not speak on that because I can't get you the full range of what that story is about. It's in the news right now. But algorithms and bots, you're right, Ty Muhammad. So let's finish this. So when we're talking about whether the tech giants can shut down or shut out and neutralize Infowars.com, that's remained to be seen. What is it that Alex Jones is saying that Black Dot and his son are not saying on their show? That Sonetta's not saying on his show? That Willie D wasn't saying on his show? Or that Professor Griff is not saying it on Sirius Mindz? What are we saying that they need to shut us down. All right? It says YouTube, Facebook, and Apple shut down key channels that gave controversial media figure access to millions. That is the key. It does take a nation of millions to hold us back. This is why they don't want us to reach the millions of people. All right? This is why they will limit your reach on Facebook by only allowing you to have 5,000 followers. Hell, if 10, 20,000 people want to watch me right now, what's wrong with that? See, with 25,000 people watching me right now, they can empower me by me saying, everybody send me $1 by 12 o'clock tomorrow. Now I got $25,000 to work with. I can go out and buy a Mevo system and set up 4 Mevo cameras around me. And then now I can broadcast to the world. Because all I got to do is make the African connection and then it's on and popping. Am I right or wrong? They don't want you having that power, so they limit you. This is why I came up with the BBVA, the Black Business Virtual Alliance, BBVA. I didn't launch it yet because I needed to get in contact with the Sonettas of the world, the Tariq Nasheeds of the world, the red pill and blue pill, the black dots of the world, that if we put our YouTube channels together and link them, right? That means your followers are my followers are your followers. And once I put one commercial on one channel and it goes to everybody else's channel, then you know the massive power we have, we're reaching millions of people. The Black Business Virtual Alliance, because it's virtual. So then all I had to say is, yo, they moving on Tariq, then I need to send the word out through my people. Sonetta will send it out to his people. We're working in conjunction with one another. This is what they fear, brothers. All right? This is what they fear. And we have to remember that, this particular dynamic. This is why it's imperative that we move in a space where it's not about us. Lose the ego. We have to be mindful of the trolls and the bots and the rest of these kind of people doing what they do, but we'll neutralize them. Plain and simple. Joel Benjamin was putting out some vital information about this subject. All right. I wanted to take it and share it. All right. Some people was like, well, why don't you talk about the same thing? I can, but the information that he gave was so vital. So that means I got to contact Joel Benjamin. All right. I think it's 598 or 596, his channel. Get his thing and put it on my channel and then broadcast it. All right. Then what happens to the monetization of it? I don't know. We shouldn't worry about that. Alerting and alarming our people, sounding the alarm is the most vital thing. All right? But anyway, WhatsApp has been linked to lynchings in India. Oh, yeah. They wanted to go live on WhatsApp, put some information up there about how they're shutting the whole pedophile rings down in India. So they had to string a couple of people up. Some people broadcasted it through there, and how do you deal with that? I'm not in favor of that, beheading people on social media. That's not what I do. But if I'm giving you information, intel about secret societies, if I'm giving you intel about certain organizations that's posing as the watch people in your community for the elite, for the secret societies, then what's wrong with putting that information out there? All right? So what? Alex Jones had a few controversial subjects. So what he talks about Pizzagate. So what he talks about Trump. All right? But I thought this is why we had the freedom of speech, so that we could talk about controversial issues. Guess your speech ain't that goddamn free, huh? No, it's never free. You pay a price for what you say on social media. All right? And why some on the right are calling it collusion. You've been hearing this term collusion in the media quite often. Who is working with who? I want to ask you this question. Alex Jones removed from social media puts all of us at risk. All right? That's what just popped up. It's putting all of us at risk. Because like I said before, it's almost like the domino effect. Once they knock down the Alex Jones, And then they moved to, who's this, Natural News? Mike Adams. Mike Adams from Natural News. There was a shakeup over there on Natural News. There was a shakeup at some of the other alternative news sources. Y'all need to check out Natural News. So when you go to Natural News, you're getting video, you're getting articles, you're getting music right across the spectrum. Some of us may not be readers and we may not read the article. Well, some of us will just watch the video. All right. Some of us will not only watch the video, they'll listen to the conscious song that's coming from overseas somewhere or from Africa. All right. But nonetheless, it's information that's going out. So therefore, you don't have to tune in to a Daily Mail. You don't have to tune into CNN. You don't have to tune into MSNBC. You don't have to tune into HLN, Headline News. You can get it right from here. All right. Facebook said it was shutting down several of Jones's pages for glorifying violence. I got to take my glasses off to that. Glorifying. How many times you went up on YouTube and they glorifying violence? On WhatsApp, on Facebook. So you talk about you shutting somebody down for glorifying violence. Let me tell y'all something. Christians, good Christians, like George Bush, Reagan, Obama, and the rest of them, have always glorified violence. The government has glorified violence. When they show you a drone bomb hitting a truck on CNN News or HLN News, this just in, terrorists neutralized in so-and-so part of the country, in Yemen or whatever. That was just in the news this morning. They bombed the truck full of women and children in Yemen this morning. Arabia, huh? Oh, I'm sorry. Insurgents. Alleged terrorists. But you, nonetheless, you still killed. That was good. You still killed women and children. All right? That's glorifying violence. Plain and simple. Anyway, they glorify violence. You right, Sunshine Daniels. They glorify violence on TV every day. In the movies every day. Every single day. So don't start talking about you neutralizing and shutting somebody down off of social media because they glorify violence. Come on. They said this violates our graphic violence policy and using dehumanizing language to describe people who are transgender, Muslim, and immigrants. What's the code word for nigger that white people always use? Colored, minority, those people. Pick one. Pick one. So whether you're using the code words, which is intricately hidden in the language of racism, white supremacy, or you outright saying nigger, what's the difference? All right? You're doing the very same thing that you're accusing Alex Jones of. All right? They said this violates our hate speech policies. Apple said in a statement to BuzzFeed News, Apple does not tolerate hate speech. This brings us back to your man Liar Cohen, who actively goes out and finds these rappers now that glorify violence, glorify sex, and stimulates and glorifies the drug culture. These are the songs that they promote. He admits this. He backed away from Charlemagne the God and basically said, well, I got to eat. I got a family to feed. So they'll push this stuff on you as long as you buying it and listening to it. They don't mind pushing it on black people. Remember The Godfather? The Godfather was basically like, yeah, we don't just sell it to the moolies. Sell it to the niggas. Don't bring that up here. All right, you only sell those kind of drugs to the niggas. All right? Yeah, but The Godfather comes on every 2 years, right or wrong. Come on now. Apple does not tolerate hate speech, and we have clear guidelines that creators and developers must follow to ensure we provide a safe environment for all of our users. Aiding podcasts that violate these guidelines are removed from our directory. They removed some clips of mine because I was talking tough one day, but I was talking about defending myself. If I'm traveling from LA to Vegas and you shoot my car window out and I'm angry now and I take to social media, do I have a right to be angry? Yeah, when you burn down my house and I voice my opinion about why my house is burned down, do I not have a right to voice my opinion? All right. When I'm having a late dinner in New Orleans and someone put poison in my food and I get back to Miami, I end up in the hospital. All right. Can't walk. All kind of stuff coming in the blood and in the urine. I can't speak about that? Come on, man. I was talking very passionate last night on World Star about what Chuck D did to me about putting me out of the group. I got so many text messages this morning, it was ridiculous. Why don't your brothers handle that in private? Do it needs to be aired out in the public? No, not necessarily, but you got to pick up the phone. You got to answer the text message. You got to answer the email in order to get to the point where you can talk in private. Right or wrong? That happened so long ago. Why don't you let it go? Well, the Holocaust happened a long time ago, and Jewish people still talk about it. The Black Holocaust happened, and it's still going on. That happened a long time ago, but people still talk about it. They set up the History Channel and the Discovery Channel to talk about it. Right? I'm just being real with you. Let's be very transparent right now. So am I not due a conversation, is what I'm saying. You ruin somebody's career and you put their life and their children's life in jeopardy, but you don't want to talk about it. No, we're going to talk about it. The InfoWars website gets as many as 10 million visitors a month. If I set up my website, ProfessorGriff.me, I had to do .me because the little white dude has .com and he wants to sell it back to me for 3 stacks. Nope, you don't have to believe me. Peace, Martin Muhammad was good. You don't have to believe me. Go right now to GoDaddy and try to get the domain ProfessorGriff.com. See how much it costs. I'll wait. Alex Jones' YouTube channel has roughly 2.4 million subscribers. 2.4 million subscribers giving you $1 every month is how much money? 2.4. It's enough to work with. Right. Go to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell so you can get notifications. Go to my website, click on the donation button. All right. If that's all you can afford is $1, I still love you to life. If you can afford 10, it's a lot better. But what I need you to do is you donate and then ask other people so we can make this thing happen. We're operating from 1 camera. What we need? 2 more. We can get the Mevo system. We good. Then we can go out into the and we can stream live. We need to bring the production live. That's what we're trying to do, right? In order to do that, it's going to take what? At least what? Give me a figure. 10 stacks will start it off? We can start it with 10 stacks. Listen, if 10,000 people are listening to the sound of my voice and everybody gave $1, we can solve that problem by next week, right or wrong. Go to the website, www.professorgriff.me, hit the donate button. All right? Then we can interview who we need to interview with for the Oculus film. So you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You're donating to this. We're getting the necessary equipment we need to go interview the Phil Valentines of the world. All right. I'm not sure how Tariq Nasheed did his films. Beautiful business model. I don't know, but I didn't talk to Tariq yet. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just saying I'm starting out from scratch trying to make the Oculus film happen. Tariq may say, Griff, what's your phone number? All right. Give me a percentage of the film. I can hook you up with my production people, whatever. They can knock it out for you. All right. But I got to get paid. All right, I don't mind Tariq getting paid. Ain't nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not opposed to anyone else getting paid. Alex Jones people stepped up to the plate and said they wanted to do the Oculus film. May not happen now because he may be in a bad mood. Some of y'all can criticize me for going across and talking to Alex Jones about getting my film done. Some of y'all would criticize me for hooking up with Tariq Nasheed to get it done. But y'all are not, in the same breath, y'all not helping. You criticize me for what I'm doing, but you're doing nothing. Come on, y'all. Anyway, let's wrap this up. With 17 million views in the past 30 days. Whew. If we set up a system where if you view it, right, you pay it to view it, right? So if I took this, matter of fact, if I set up my class, the Kabbalion, August 23rd at 7 o'clock, right? If you attend the class or not, you sponsor someone to take the class, all right? If I put it up on my website in a private area where you got to pay, you got to be a member to pay $10 to subscribe to go view it. If we had 1,000 people to do that, we could get the Mevo system. See, there's different ways and different levels we can do this on. But you got to do something. Do something. All right? Are you following what I'm saying? Okay. All right. Now, between tomorrow and the end of the month, I would have talked to 100,000 people. 10,000 people in person and the rest online. If I put this out to everyone, that's 100,000 people who would have heard my voice. If everybody gave $1, problem solved, Oculus film done. Right? Starting today, within the sound of my voice, go to www. Can you put this up above my shoulder? www. Right here you can put it? Okay, cool. www.paypal.me/Professor Griff Corp. That's my PayPal. All right? Everybody give what you can give. I'll give you all the sum total of what I get at the end of the month. We can get the Oculus film done. We can take this production on the street live to go talk to our people. All right? Because there's some things going on that we need to be live on set. You know what that can do? It can free my other dude up from working he working a full-time job and a part-time. He can leave the part-time job alone because now I can hire him. Right? And he can get off his full-time job, come here, we meet, we go out and we get the information and get the news. This is what news people do. Right or wrong? All right, enough of that. In the past, I'm going to sum this up. In the past few days, Facebook, Apple, YouTube, and Spotify booted Alex Jones and InfoWars platforms, podcast pages, and channels that belong to the conspiracy theorist Alex Jones and his InfoWars website. So the object is now, don't get considered a conspiracy theorist and they won't shut you down. Some of y'all looking at this. Isn't this on the dollar bill? But you having no knowledge of it, you won't understand what this is. You can write this off as Professor Griff being a conspiracy theorist. I could talk about the water situation in Flint. I could talk about the situation in Puerto Rico, which came up on the news today, that they said that 70-something people, 64 people had died when Puerto Rico got devastated. Guess what the number is? 1,400 people. The numbers were off, man. 64 to 1,400 is a big number. Anyway, the garbage man is coming and we're going to hear him pulling up in a minute. So we got to sum this up. The amount of money, amount of people and money these conglomerates make. Let me just run that down. Don't mind the truck in the background. Facebook, 1.19 billion. You could say users, subscribers, which equates to advertisers, which equates to money. You do the math. YouTube, 1 billion. Google, 300 million. LinkedIn, 181 million. Twitter, 232 million. This is probably subscribers. SoundCloud, 250 million. IG, 150 million. Pinterest, 70 million. Tumblr, 50 million. Right? Big numbers. Last but not least, and I'm going to sum this up. How can we distinguish alternative social media and mainstream social media? Alternative media, mainstream media. All right? Let me ask you a question. RT, all right, the Young Turks, are they mainstream or are they just social media? When do we cross over to become the mainstream social media? You see, in the black world, the information that we consume, like my channel and a few other people's channel, we would constitute social media, but we would constitute mainstream black social media. All right? Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, Reddit, and other. WashingtonPost.com. They take up 9.7%. HuffingtonPost.com. Now, mind you, you can read all of these, or we can put these up over my right shoulder. And if you click on them for 15 minutes in the morning, you'll get what is coming over the entire news spectrum. And then they put it in the news cycle, and it repeats over and over again. WashingtonPost.com, 9.7. HuffingtonPost.com, 8.7. NewYorkTimes.com, 8.3. WSJ.com, 6.6. LA Times, 6.6. USNewsToday.com, 6.1. ABCNews.go.com, 5.6. CNN.com, 4.9. FoxNews.com, 2.9. NBCNews.com, 2.4. And the rest is spread out. And they leave the rest up to the alphabet boys like FB, IG, and YouTube, YT, and the rest of them. All right? Now, New York Times is controlled and controls Facebook. WashingtonPost.com is linked directly into Twitter. And of course, you know Google controls YouTube. All right? So, I'm going to tag on my people that support me at the end of this. If you want to place an ad here on Sirius Mindz, just give me a call at 678-557-2919 or email me at seriousmindsinfo@gmail.com or just send me a text, 678-557-2919. I'm going to put the subscribe button right here. Press it if you want to subscribe to Sirius Mindz. Go to www.professorgriff.me, hit the donate button for the Oculus or to donate to this particular channel and news source, all right? Support alternative news sources, all right? Hit up Black Dot, watch his channel, him and his son. Hit up Tariq Nasheed, Red Pill, Blue Pill, Brother Rich, Black Magic. Hit up Tariq Nasheed, hit up Advise News, hit up all the alternative. Listen, we got to come together and make this happen, man. Because once they shut me down, they're coming for you, Dot. Am I right or wrong? They're coming for you, Tariq Nasheed. They already came for Sonetta and a few other people. Red Pill, Blue Pill, Brother Rich. All right? We got to support one another to make this happen. All right? Support all of them across the spectrum. All right? If most of y'all took $10 and gave us $1 a piece, we good. We can stay in business. All right? This is Professor Griff for Sirius Mindz. For Sirius Mindz, seriously, I love y'all to life. Revolution is not an event. It's a process. All right? Let's make this thing happen, man. Check me out on World Star Hit Radio every Wednesday night at 9 o'clock. Black Dot, Tariq Nasheed, and there's this new system that's out there where they're getting stuff right, encoded right on your website. All right, so even if they shut you down in certain places, you can still get the information and do these kind of shows directly from your website. Let me tell you something. The technology is out there. We just got to learn it, get with our people, generate the funds, and make it happen. All right, I'll be in Florida this weekend. Come check me out. And I will be in Norfolk at the House of Consciousness on August 25th and 26th. And then I will be Baltimore, and I'll be in Capitol Heights at Everlasting Life on the 18th and 19th. Check out my man, the Jabari at Reality Speaks. Check out Blue Pill and Red Pill for that information. All right? I love y'all to life. Y'all take care of yourself. Return of the Gods is happening this weekend in San Diego. Check them out. All right? This is Professor Griff, and I'm out, man. Peace. Sirius Mindz is Sirius Mindz. Seriously. Peace. This is Professor Griff. I'm out.
Revolution. is wrong.